welcome back to Careful Boys today. So there's a hearing coming up in a couple of days at Capitol Hill. They're going to be talking to a bunch of UFO or UAP now.
UAP.
Yeah, exactly. Whistleblowers, right? And this cat is one of the people who's talking, and this is one of the things he's going to be discussing.
This is actually my expertise.
Yeah, I know. That's why I waited for you.
Yep, thanks.
So I'm sorry, 8:45 in the morning. The dispatcher gets
Real quickly, he's a U.S. Air Force veteran. Okay.
a call from range control.
A technical sergeant from range control. And he says, I'm reporting an event that occurred at LF-21 and LF-10, two different sites in the same location. And what he said was the contractors working on site called range control, and he said there was a gigantic floating red square over LF-21 at low altitude. And they were just standing there watching this thing.
A red square. So
red square.
One thing that people have asked me after I spoke about this case at the hearing was, what does that mean, a red square? Right? Was this a cube? Did it not look like it had depth, and so it's described as a square? I said square in the hearing because that's how it was described to me, just as you described it. And I'm curious if you have any additional details that you could add. Was it a three-dimensional object? Did it just appear to be a square, and it just couldn't tell?
So here's the issue. I had the original statement from the contractors. There were three contractors that worked for Boeing that saw this object, and they wrote sworn written statements. I've lost those. I lost them in 2012. I have some other statements, but those are indirect witness statements from it. But from my recollection of reading the documents, to the best of my recollection, it was a somewhat flattened square plane, and basically just a big square object, the size of a football field, silently floating over the launch pad.
Wow.
Red in color, glowing this red color.
I was going to say someone grabbed the
as far as I know, it
box
wasn't a
and tossed
cube. It was like a flattened square.
Got it.
It was like a flattened square.
There you go. So all this is coming. All this is going to be coming out, like I said, like in 3 days, I believe, is the hearing. So.
Did you watch any of the hearings last year?
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
You mean the disclosure with the 300 employees or whatever?
So they call them biologics, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Or extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
Are they talking about beings or just like flying objects?
They're talking about all of it, but the most interesting stuff is that there's now a belief that basically they come here with biologics, almost like automatons that have like biological material, like grown or something like that, and that's kind of their space suits, and they like control the aircraft with these things.
Are they the Greys?
Well, they're not saying that.
Yeah, they didn't dive into that in like the
Yeah.
government shit. But every question too, when they start to nail down what's going on, the guy's like, can't really talk about that. Like, bitch, you got answers.
I have to talk to you in a skiff, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
always
bitch, you got answers. That means a yes.
Which is like where you go to. It's like to give classified information to a congressperson, you have to go to like a specific room there.
Yeah.
So you
Because
can talk about it.
you're the classified guy. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't answer this, who the hell are we asking? You know.
Well, they're saying they want to do it in private.
Right.
So then, what good is it for us?
So based off of all the stuff you guys seen, are there like actual beings that are like locked up somewhere, or where are they?
People giving the testimony have said that they recovered biologics in these crafts during crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, they're probably dead. Yeah. Who's the main guy in
David
that last
Grush.
hearing? Yeah, David Grush. Yeah, he basically said that without saying that.
Yeah.
Didn't they recover one in Roswell and it was kind of live?
The issue with Roswell is it's so long ago. Like, this dude lost records in 2012. Like, Roswell was, what, the 40s?
Yeah. The issue with Roswell too is that the crash wasn't actually at Roswell.
Right.
Roswell is where they moved the material. It actually happened somewhere else in New Mexico.
The biggest convincing to me of all these, because I've watched a lot of documentaries and interviews like this, is like the guys that are really talking that shit are like Air Force generals. And I'm like, this guy seems so normal. Like, he's not going to just lie to lie.
Like David Fravor.
David Favor's like the main one, right?
Yep.
The San Diego guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Right? Like, you're like...
That's the like Tic Tac one.
The Tic Tac one that's moving, right?
Yeah. And like the replication of those stories. Like, many people have seen pills, like how fast it moves. And I think that one in particular, Fravor, they have like radar recordings.
Yep.
Like, something's flying around like that. And then the only other question is is that some secret China stuff? Is that some secret U.S. stuff? You know, just
Is
like
it Boeing? Like
right.
Is
That-
it the defense contractor stuff?
Because like the AI they're showing us now, they were playing with probably 20 years ago. You know, so they definitely have something that we haven't seen or don't know, and that's my only question. Same even with the biologics. That one does raise an eyebrow because they're always so weird about it.
Yeah, well, because they don't want to give the idea is they don't want to give information to our enemies,
Right.
who are
Who could be also listening or
I
whatever.
always feel like that's what the answer is a lot of the time. That they love that people just think it's UFOs or UAPs. Because they're like, great, that does all the work for us.
Right.
Well,
Well, they're
they-
just
but-
testing their own drones.
But they
or
literally are UFOs or UAPs. I'm just helping you out because somebody in the comments is going to be like, they literally are.
whatever. Yeah. Because UAPs is unidentified.
But you're saying, like, yeah, they're not aliens.
they're not of this
they're us.
planet. Or they're not of our peoples.
Or it's some Lockheed Martin engineer up there.
Well, the longer everyone thinks they have it figured out, the more they don't have to give any answers.
Right. And then the biggest thing was like that set it off was it 2017, 2018 was the New York Times actually started
Yes.
talking about it for the first time ever.
That
Then it
there
all
were-
became real.
There were actually crash retrieval programs by the United States government. That's what kicked all this off. We were talking about it on JK back then.
Yeah, not to put on the tin foiler, you know,
Yeah,
but then I'm wondering, like, I'm always thinking they're making me look over here and they're fucking punching me in the dick over here, you know? So, like, as soon as the New York Times was the first time ever, I was like, maybe there aren't aliens. I was like, why is New York fucking Times talking about it?
Are you guys
They're-
more on the fence of there are aliens or they're more from other countries? Or are secret
I think
projects?
the idea that there aren't aliens is absurd because the universe is so big. But I don't know that they're here.
Right.
I don't know about any of that.
And then the bigger question is, yeah, are they the underwater ancients that have been here forever,
Right.
or are they coming in from a different universe? Yeah, which like that's crazy interesting to me. What is it?
The one that I'm always super intrigued of is the Tic Tac pill thing.
Yep.
Like, if that thing defies all physics as we know it, what other country could be that advanced to have?
Right,
And
it's us, China, Russia.
And Caicos, probably.
Yeah, probably Sri Lanka.
Working for a while.
But the fact that they don't use it against anybody, they could just go take over a city if they had those things.
Overnight,
Like,
right?
Come on.
And the power, I've heard like, you know, smart ass physicists or whatever, engineers talk about the power of those Tic Tacs. Like, just to do like one of those movements is the entire USA's year-long energy.
Insane.
You know, so then like who's producing that? And the likelihood that China or Russia have that and they're hiding it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Also, how are they able to move so fast through water if it's drones? If it's that's my only question.
Sure.
That defies
Sure.
all physics.
But the thing I'm most curious about is why are they so shy? Like they're hiding, they don't want to be seen.
So that's like now you're getting deep in the Joe, because now they're talking about dimensional and time travel.
Yeah.
That's probably what it
Seeing a
is.
glimpse of
That's-
a different dimension.
Yeah, hearing that.
Show up or not, or maybe it's a glitch and they're even machines.
So one of the theories behind it is they're time traveling humans. So they're
future.
are
Buying lotto
evolved
tickets?
humans that went through.
They're here to buy super lotto.
It goes like this, goes, buy these numbers.
Well, because the California lottery ride was like 1.4 billion, and no one's won yet. So they're coming back in time.
Let's be real though. If like a bunch of guys like us had super technology from the future and were
sure.
able to go back in time, you'd be like seeing a picture of Sydney Sweeney on TMZ, and then she just gets sucked up into a fucking. You know what I mean? There's no way it's people like us.
We're just kidnapping all the hottest chicks.
We're kidnapping all the hottest chicks, and we're literally like breaking SHA 256 encryption and owning all the
Bitcoin,
Bitcoins.
yeah, it's over.
Like, come on.
Dimensional explanation though, because it's the most like if you saw something that was like above the third dimension, you wouldn't be able to describe it very well.
Yeah, you'd have no clue.
Yeah, so it could be like a weird lapse in like what you're seeing. Yeah.
Another one is that the simulation theory has these guys as the caretakers of humans. So
Oh, there's the Norton virus protector.
So they're supposed to be not seen because like they're
Windows
kind
Defender.
of this is a zoo, and these guys are the caretakers of the zoo. So they're just like, oh shit, they can fucking see us.
Well, it's no different than like we don't try to communicate with ants.
Right.
Like that's the idea, right?
That's the line that lines up with like the nuclear missile theory, where like more UAPs started being seen when we invented the nuke. But then that
and
also
specifically over these bases that had the
often.
And they diffused them all.
Exactly.
But then the issue with that one is, to me at least, is like that's also the time we got like cameras and communication. So then like these stories are spreading more. You know what I mean? Because like in the 1700s you're gonna send a smoke signal talking about a UAP.
right.
There's also so much sociological stuff to analyze with these things because a lot of it's dudes believing dudes. But if women had the same stories, I guarantee not a lot of people would be like, yeah, fucking right.
Right.
Bitch is tripping again.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
But guys believing bros is That's what we're doing.
Women encounters are always they're having sex with an alien. It's like why is it always
Wasn't there an insane one? I think it was right as I moved to Vegas. There was a crazy one where they like talked to him in the backyard.
Yes,
Like,
it was around here actually.
Yeah. Where you could see the machinery in the backyard
Yeah.
at the same time. Yeah.
Family supposedly, like,
Yeah.
talked to this dude.
The whole family apparently was there.
Cops
Yeah.
all in front.
I remember that.
Was that one real or did it get debunked? I
Well, a lot
forgot.
of people say they saw like a
know.
meteor-looking thing that crashed,
At the same time.
and it went to this person's backyard, and they called the cops.
Yeah.
So multiple people saw it go.
And then literally wasn't it the whole family, like 2 adults and 2 kids
Like,
all
in the
saw it.
backyard, just
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
right now too, within the next 6 months, who knows? My Twitter's pretty crazy. This could be fake. There's something floating towards Earth that is not an asteroid. They guarantee.
It's like that
Oh
line.
yes.
They think it's like a ship.
we
Yeah, it
can
looks like a
talk about
rainbow
that
line.
They think it's a ship.
in another video.